¿Qué pasa? What's up? Antonio here, and today I have a magical show just for you. This is going to be a very different magical show because I'm going to be talking about some ideas, tips that I can give you about a very particular show, and it was my Got Talent audition. Oh my god, I was in Got Talents. That's great. Yeah, it's great. I am receiving a lot of messages. It was like 4 or 5 days ago where my audition was aired in TV. It was Got Talent Spain. Obviously, I don't want to show any clips of the video because the channel where this program is aired is quite famous for taking out, right, all of the videos from any kind of place, but you can research, right? You can find Antonio Serrano, you can look for that, and it's quite likely that you're going to find it somewhere, right? So I am very proud with my audition, and I want to give you some tips and some ideas that I extracted 100% from the show. I won't consider a show something that you do on the talent show. I would consider an act, right? Like a very small, tiny, all-around performance. So I would love to talk to you not only about tips about the magic in itself, but also about how I decided to do this, all of the things that changed for me after that. And it's quite close, right? It's been like 4 or 5 days, so I'm not feeling like a completely different person, not at all. But I think that this experience is quite interesting for me, and I would love to talk about it with you. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm not moving. Okay, so the first thing that I would love to talk to you about is how I get there, right? How do I get there to Got Talent? Maybe you don't know about this. Maybe this only happens in Spain's Got Talent. But they contact with the people that work for the show. They contact with a lot of entertainers. They are following you on social media. Maybe they are a person that knows you because you live nearby or anything like that, and they have seen you perform live, and they contact you to perform there, right? So it's not only like people that go to the castings and they send the information because they want to perform there. A lot of the times it's people from the show that contact you. And since the first edition of Spain's Got Talent, I've been receiving calls and messages from different workers, different people that have worked for the program, wanting me to go there to audition. And every time I said no. Anyone that knows me knows that for a lot of time I've said no, I don't want to go because they are going to make fun of me, which is a fair judgment because in the first 2 seasons of the show they made fun of magicians, which is something that I'm aware that also happened in other countries with the same show, right? So I never wanted to go, and I always saw magicians that went to these talent shows being very serious, and most of the times they bring like very magical props, big illusions, stuff like that. It's quite unusual. I would say maybe the first one that I did it go to Got Talent with a very comedic magic act, right? Quite funny, and the comedy and the magic is almost at the same level. Is something that is quite weird to see there, and also with everyday props. I will talk about the trick in a future segment in this video. So I never wanted to go there, and it was a couple of months ago. I would say more, because a couple of months ago it was when I filmed. Like 4 or 5 months ago I was talking with my girlfriend, and she said to me, if you want different results, you have to do something different. If you want to perform more, if you want to perform in higher standard venues, stuff like that, you want to charge more, you have to show where you are worth in different places, and you have to do something about it. And the first thing that I could come up with was Got Talent. And like a couple of weeks ago I received some messages from one of the workers saying to me, we are starting with the 9th season of the show, we would love you to be here. And I answer, I don't want to be there, I don't consider myself able to go there and perform in such a place, because it is filmed in a very big theater here in Madrid, and I didn't want to go. And I decided, okay, I am going to do it, basically because I wanted a change. I wanted to see what happened with my career, right? But I was freaked out. I think that I've never been so freaked out in my life. Maybe when I perform for my family, right? Because I love performing for my family, and I really want to impress them every time that I have to perform for them in any kind of celebration. But apart from my family, this was extremely difficult to do, right? I was quite nervous, and something that it is quite important, and I think this is a very interesting tip for you out there. Most of the times in a talent show, it doesn't matter if it is aired on television or if it is a physical talent show like in a pub or anything like that. Most of the times, the winner or the people that go on and the people that get dismissed from the show, most of the times the selection process happens during the rehearsals. This is something that I notice sometimes in certain shows. I remember that I did kind of a talent show when I was in a cruise ship, not performing as a cruise ship entertainer, but I was as a client, as a tourist in the cruise ship, and there was like an open mic thing with kind of like Got Talent theme. And I noticed that the judges were also clients from the boat. And I was like, and who is? And my father said to me, that woman over there is the one that is going to their ears and saying, that woman is the one saying you have to vote that, you have to vote the other thing, right? She was controlling the results. And I was like, and that woman, I know that woman. And I was like, yeah, that woman was the woman that was in front of me and in front of everyone when we did the rehearsals, right? So, and I noticed exactly the same thing doing the rehearsal for the show. I did the rehearsal in the same place where the show is going to be filmed. And I had the table for the judges, and I performed there like for 15 people. There was like the producers, the director, the script writers, everyone was there, everybody, and I was freaked out. I did my set extremely quickly, blah, 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 right? And the director said to me, Antonio, you can relax. And I was like, but they told me that I have like 4 or 5 minutes, I have no more time. And he said to me, you are good, relax, take your time. And I was like, oh, that has to be good. So when I went to the recording of the show, I was very lucky because I was the first one to record from all of the shows that were there the day that I filmed. I was extremely calm because I was like, there is no hurry, there is no time, I can be here any amount of time that I want. So I performed, and it was quite nice. It was quite nice. The very last thing that I'm going to tell you about this story of how I get there is that simply appearing on your first, on television, in your first audition, and having your whole set, your whole act aired without any kind of cut, that's something extremely difficult. Okay, I was very lucky because all the previous process happened online. I have to send like a couple of videos, then I continue the process, and then I talked with the director through Zoom in a meeting, in an online meeting, and then they told me that I could go to Madrid and perform there, right? A lot of people go there, perform there, and then their audition never gets aired, and it's like they never been there, which is quite sad. And I was quite sad, like it was great, everyone loved it, all of the judges were like extremely impressed. Could you imagine that they didn't air this? It could be the worst, and I don't have access to this video. If I could have the video, it would be great, but I don't even have the video of this proof. Like I perform here, so it's quite sad. So every time that you see a performer in any kind of Got Talent show and their full act it's being aired, that's way more that they have accomplished that the most amount of entertainers in the whole life. Just all of the work they had to do, all the little fences that they have to go up, talk to this one, send this information, okay, you continue, come here, okay, that was good, when that day maybe we are going to air your show, and then they go like, no. I know a lot of magicians that wanted to go to Got Talent and they never get to be in front of the judges. So just being there and having your audition aired is quite a big of a deal. Okay, I would love to talk to you quite briefly about the routine that I did in my selection process, right? I wanted to perform something based on skills, right? Because I saw that most magicians that went there perform tricks that were like a mentalism tricks or mental magic tricks. And I think that the reason behind that is that those tricks are difficult to figure out. Even if you watch the performance over and over and over again, if the method is ingenious, it's quite difficult to get. If you do invisible deck and you have no idea how invisible deck works, it doesn't matter how many times you see the trick, you are not going to see a thing, because it is quite difficult to get. It's a very interesting method. But I wanted to go the other way around. I wanted to do something based on skill and misdirection. That's basically what I wanted to do. Why? Two reasons. First reason, because I am differentiating myself. I am doing something different. Very few magicians go there and perform things that are based 100% or 95% on skill. Most magicians there carry things that are gimmicks, and you can see that they are like magical props, magical box, and all of the things that I brought there were completely 100% like a homemade, or they have that image. By the way, I didn't mention it, I did my chop card routine with the kitchen cloth and the paper ball, the tin foil ball and all that stuff. So quite ordinary props, right? And I finished producing from one of the loads. It was an orange and an onion, and from the orange I produced a check, like a bank check, that one of the judges signed, because I am very similar, my face is very similar to one of the judges. We look alike. So I made a joke that he was my real father, and I want him to pay me some money because he didn't recognize this relationship, father-son relationship. So I asked him to sign the check. I vanished the check using a king-size thumb tip from the table, from the kitchen cloth, and then I used the kitchen cloth as the tabletop, let's say, right? Like the mat, to perform the chop card routine. And then I produced the orange and the onion, and from inside the orange it was the sign check, right? What is the cool thing about the skills? People cannot deny skills, even if they know what you just did. Like I know that some way you snuck the onion under the cup. Even if they know that, they have to admit that you have incredible chops, right? If you are presenting a self-working trick and they figure out how the trick works, you have nothing, right? So presenting a trick that is based 100% on skills has that. If they know how the trick works, you still get some credit. Sometimes you get even more credit if they know what you are doing, okay? So it's quite interesting. And maybe if you watch the show over and over again, you can see, oh, at that point he loaded the orange. At that point, he placed the ball on top of the cup, and he misdirected the judges to look the other way, to then reveal that it was on top of the cup. They can figure out those things when they watch the show more times. But that is pointless. My sister showed me, I don't have a TikTok account, and my sister showed me on TikTok some people saying, if you pay attention, when he moves from one judge to the other, he plays the ball on top of the cup, and everyone is like, of course he's placing the ball on top of the cup at some point. The thing is that we never saw it the first time, and the judges that were like 20 centimeters away from the cup, quite close, they didn't see it, which is amazing, right? So that's basically why I chose a trick that is 100% skill. You cannot deny skill, and it's quite different from the things that other people are doing. And it is possible to figure out how the trick is done once you see the show over and over and over again, but the important thing is the reaction from the judges. And let me tell you something, mental magic and stuff like that, it's pretty amazing. But I remember the words from Michael Lamar, and he was quoting another magician saying, nothing beats a production, right? Like, you can read my mind, you can do something very dramatic with mind reading or stuff like that, but when you go boom, here's an orange, and then you go boom, and now an onion, it's like it hits you on a subconscious level. It's like from our animal side, it's like something appeared, there was nothing and now there is something, right? It's very difficult to beat that, right? So this is basically why I chose the material that I chose. Okay, this is a very interesting tip, and it is basically don't make the judges the star, right? A lot of people go to these shows and they get like very good reactions and stuff like that, but they are not the star of their act. Is one of the judges is the star. They take one of the judges and the judge is making jokes. He's being silly. Everyone is laughing, not because the magician is saying something funny, but because he's saying something funny to this person. And every time what I imagine is, I am saying this to this judge, which is a celebrity here in Spain, and it is funny. But is it funny if I say this same line to a normal person? If I go, yes, it is funny, I say it. If it is like, no, this is funny because I am saying it to this particular person because it is a celebrity, I am not doing it. Right? I want my show to be a show that people see it and go, this is a full work show that could work any place. It's not a matter of, okay, he's using the judges to his advantage, right? No, I only use the judges a little bit with the joke that one of them is my father, but once that was established, the whole show went back to normal, producing the check from the fruit and all that stuff. It's not like that judge that looks like me is going to be the star of the show. Without any kind of doubt, I didn't want to do that. And if you watch the video of my audition, you can see that at the beginning the judges are like talking a little bit, doing some jokes, and as my act continues, you can see it reaches a point where they have nothing to say. They are like, and they look each other and they are laughing and then they are amazed and they are like, it reaches a point where, and I love the comments on Facebook and on Instagram, they were like, Got Talent for like 10 minutes became the Antonio Serrano's show or something like that. And it is true. I think that I'm being a little bit egocentric is the word, a little bit big-headed if I said so myself, but it is true. You can see that they start talking because that's their job. The job of the judges is take advantage from the show. If the show is a bad show, we make fun of the show. If the show is a good show, we go, oh, you're amazing, this is great, have you seen that? But when I was gradually proceeding with my act, they were like audience members. They were like one more of the crowd. They were like 4 random audience members. So this is great. That was great, and that was exactly what I wanted to do. I don't like when the act that some people perform there is like mismatch of things. Like now I'm making fun of this judge, now this judge, now I do this trick with cards, now this trick with a coin, now that, now this, now... I didn't want to do that. I want like a full act. Everything has some kind of meaning to another thing, and the judges are here to react to the magic, but they are not the stars because they are here to judge my performance, so they cannot judge themselves, right? They have to judge me. So this is very interesting tip, and you can use this tip the other way around. If you want to go to Got Talent but you are afraid that you are not enough, you can say, okay, I'm going to take advantage from one of the judges, and you can do that without any kind of problem, and the show loves when you take the judges and you make fun of them or you make them be a part of the act, because that's basically what it is. It's a TV show. It is not a talent show. It is a TV show, and we need people to be watching the show at home. Okay? So this is basically it. You have to be the start because you deserve it. You don't need anybody else. Yeah. One more tip that I really like, and this is going to be quite short, is basically that I didn't want to use my personal life. I even went to my first audition, and the only people that knew about it was my girlfriend and my brother-in-law, because he lives in Madrid and I stayed a couple of nights in his house when I was there filming the audition. So nobody knew that I was there. Nobody knew it. Not even my mom, my father, my sister, anyone from my family. Only these 2 people when I was there. And I told them that I wasn't Got Talent the day before. When I received the email that I was going to be on television the next day, I went like, okay, please don't forget to watch Got Talent tomorrow. And we even meet up, most of my cousins, stuff like that, to watch the show together. So what I didn't want to do was using my personal life as part of my act. I have no problem with people that do that, but I didn't want people to react to my show or to get emotional or to use I don't know, my mom or my girlfriend or my grandfather, my grandmother. I didn't want to use any kind of sensitive stuff to make my show more interesting or more appealing. I simply wanted to be a comedy magician, and this is what I'm going to do. As simple as that, right? And I consider that being a comedy magician and using sad themes is quite weird. If you have a show, if you're performing a full 1 hour show or even longer show, it doesn't matter if you add a little bit of sensitive stuff because you have to go on a roller coaster. That's great. We cannot be the entire time laughing. That's great. But if you're performing an act that is about 5 minutes, something like that, you have to be funny, you have to be magical. That's it. I am not discarding the idea of doing something a little bit more emotional or something like that if I continue in the show. But the first impression has to be, I am a funny guy, I know how to do some strong magic, and I'm out. So this is basically what I wanted to do, and I think that I achieved that. I didn't go there with my parents or with anyone like that, and I saw other participants there that went there with their parents and stuff like that, and they filmed them. Like they start talking about their son and their granddaughter. They are great, and I didn't want that. I just wanted to be me, do my stuff, and get the heck out. Okay guys, so this is the last tip. I won't consider this a tip, more like a warning for magician, and it is basically, if you watch a magician on a talent show, don't criticize him or her. Don't criticize them, okay? And I feel extremely guilty about that because many times when I saw a magician on television, in any kind of talent show, I was like, oh my god, I can do that trick better than him. Oh my god, he's so boring. Oh my god, he's just saying what he's doing. Like I have a pack of cards here, shuffle the cards, thank you, take one card, show it to everyone. Oh my god, that's so boring. Oh my god, that trick is horrible. He's doing the trick so bad. Please change the channel. I don't want to watch this. So sometimes I was like that. And it doesn't matter if I am right or if I am wrong. Now that I perform there, I know that the difficult part about performing there is not the trick that you do. It's not even the presentation. The difficult part is getting there. The difficult part is going like, I'm going to perform on national television, on prime time, when most people is in front of the television set. I'm going to perform there, and I'm going to see what happens. Because I have no idea what the judges are going to say, I have no idea how the audience is going to react, and I have no idea if they air this audition. I don't know if they are going to show this on television, but if they do, I have no idea how they are going to edit it, how they are going to cut out all the different frames from my performance. So it's quite a bravery thing. You have to be extremely brave to do that. Most magicians would never do that. Most magicians, they maybe are performing in theaters for thousands and thousands of people, but you tell them, okay, go talent show. Oh my god, I would never go there. Oh my god, that's impossible. I'm so scared of going there. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. But don't criticize magicians that perform on talent shows because maybe their technique could be better. Okay, maybe their pattern, their script could be better. No problem. But they are there. They are there. And you are not. And I know that you are not, because if you, at any point of your life, go there, you would stop criticizing magicians that perform on television like I am doing right now, because I know how difficult it is to go there, how difficult it is to believe in yourself. I know how difficult it is to put an obstacle, like put a stopper on your fear, like no, I don't want to feel fear, I want to feel hope, I want to feel happiness, and I'm going for it. So it's quite difficult to do, so stop criticizing magicians. I would love to see you all perform someday on Got Talents because the experience is great. I don't know about other countries, but in Spain, the whole staff, all of the workers, they are the technicians, sound people, lighting people, the script writers, the director of the show, everyone, incredible, nice people, and I would love to go back. I don't know if I am going to be performing on the semifinals because they have to go around, they have to take a look at all of the possible acts that can go to the next round, and maybe some of the acts that have enough votes to go there are left out. I have enough votes to continue, but I don't know if the program, if the show wants me to continue. So we will see. Okay guys, that's everything for today's video. I would love you to comment below, to subscribe, and I will see you, as always, in a near future. Bye there!